Welcome. This is a presentation for you, the doctor, who requested this. My pleasure to do so. This is a presentation on the mission statement when a patient walks in the office. That being said, when a patient walks in, the mission statement can be done either by the receptionist, an office manager, and or the doctor, depending on who's available. They all should get good at it, but ideally you would have one person designated to it who introduces as the new patient coordinator that does this mission statement. The doctor is usually too busy to walk out in reception and do it because he's with patients. I had that problem myself. When the patient does come in the back, however, I usually do reiterate it to some degree, but my office manager got very good at it. I trained her well on it. And so the mission statement when it comes in is really the mission statement for any practice. The mission statement I'm going to give you comes from the derivation of the word doctor. So in actual fact, the mission statement I'm going to give you is all embracive of the entire industry of dentistry and really healthcare, because all doctors have a title which is called doctor, and that title comes from the derivation of the word doctor. So that being said, I'm going to do a short demonstration on when a patient walks in, how do you take this patient and increase your case acceptance, increase your retention, because it's really why you're doing a mission statement. A mission statement is done to begin to educate the patient on retaining them as a consumer. If you can retain your consumer, then your practice will grow. That being said, it's really important to know that about 90% of the consumer patients that walk in dental offices across the country are lost out the back door. So the database never really grows as the practice grows. Yet the patient that's retained is the patient who becomes educated, who eliminates dentistry. You actually are running what's called a wellness program for that patient. There's no more root canals, there's no more crowns, there's no more extractions. What a wonderful thing for your community. So that being said, I'm going to act like there's a patient walking in. So you're going to be the actual patient, so I'm going to be talking to you. So you walk in and I would walk up to you, or the office manager would, and I'd say, I'm Dr. Hughes. I would like to welcome you to the practice. Thank you so much for choosing our office. You have other options, so I'm glad that you arrived here. That being said, I'd like to give you an orientation as to the purpose of this office and the purpose that we have with our patients like you. Around this office is really located neighborhood homes. And in those neighborhood homes are people, and they're people like you. They have families, they have children, they have relatives, they have aunts and uncles, neighbors and coworkers that they interface with. And because of that, the community is really built on the family values. This practice itself is a family practice. And that being said, you're about the age of my brother. And because you're the age of my brother, the treatment that you would get would be as if you were a family member. In other words, as if you were my brother. The treatment you would get would be no more and no less than if you were a relative. If it was an elderly gentleman, it would be as if it was my grandfather. A young child, probably my granddaughter at this point. So that being said, I want to give you the purpose that we have for you. And the purpose we have for you is really to educate you over a period of time to eliminate your dentistry so you never have dentistry in the future. That's an achievable goal. The way we achieve that goal is in our Hygiene Education Center. My staff know my purpose well. All of them do, because I've taught them. And so whenever you come for an examination and a cleaning, the dental hygienist will always make your next 6-month appointment at the end of your appointment today. It's the best possible program that we can do for you. It will eliminate your dental cost and your dental care for the future, as well as your family, your husband, your neighbors, and your friends. That being said, if you come regularly in the hygiene department, in the future for you, there's no extractions, there's no dental implants, there's no root canals, there's no gum disease. So if we can educate you well and you can participate in that program with us, then we're going to hit a home run with you. The reason we have that purpose isn't because we just made it up. It has some research behind it, and the research of that is the purpose comes from the derivation of the word doctor itself. And the word doctor, if you look it up in a dictionary, comes from a Latin word, and that Latin word is docere. And docere means, if you look it up, it means to teach or to know, or to teach one to know. So if we can teach you to know about your oral health care and your family and your friends, then we can eliminate dentistry for a lifetime. And imagine your children growing up and never having dentistry. Would that be fabulous or what? That being said, we have a motto in this office. We hope you like it. And the motto is Partners in Your Dental Health. We hope to have you for a lifetime, as well as your family and your relatives. Again, I want to welcome you to the practice. It's my pleasure to have you in my practice. And I'd like to let you know that we have a complete open communication channel between the patients and myself. And what does that mean? That simply means that at any time, if you have a question or a problem that occurs in this office, it could be a finance bill that's incorrect, it could be a staff member maybe got too abrasive with you, or a question about your smile, or you have an emergency. Any of those cases, I would really be privileged if you give me the opportunity by calling me personally to remedy that situation so we can keep you as a patient. That being said, I want to thank you again for coming to the practice. Welcome to the practice. I'll see you in the back in a few minutes. Jen will be out to take your x-rays. So that's an overview of the mission statement. With this video, I'm going to send you also a mission statement itself that has everything I just said, but it's far more cryptic. It's shorter. It gets framed 16 by 20, and it goes up in your reception room so your patient can see it when they're sitting in the reception room. It goes up in every operatory, the hygiene operatories, the hallways, and you can even put it in the bathroom. It's important. And when the patient leaves, they leave with that mission statement. So they now know the purpose of your office. They will promulgate your practice if it's stated. If the mission statement is stated warmly and sincerely to the patient, which is important, then you're going to increase your patient referrals. And the fact is, you do want to capture that community. Now, that purpose being said, needs to be thought through by the doctor himself and by the staff members. The moment you have that purpose, if it truly is the purpose of the office to retain that consumer and educate them for a lifetime, then that community belongs to you. Go get them. Who's going to educate them? In actual fact, if a patient walks in your office and they have 2 crowns, a root canal, post buildup, and another crown on that tooth, and a couple composites, and a small amount of perio disease, I actually would be somewhat upset by that. Now, it's not that I'm not going to treat that patient, but the question I have in my mind is, who didn't educate that patient at an earlier age? And that's the responsibility of the dentist across America, is to educate these patients, get them on a retention program. And once you have them on a retention program, it will grow your hygiene department. The plus of that is that you'll have a wellness program, but in the same breath, you'll actually remove the handcuffs that you have on yourself, because that hygiene program, which is a wellness program, will actually outproduce any single doctor on planet Earth. The hygiene days go from 1 day to 2 days to 4 days a week to 5 days a week. We have doctors that have 3, 4 full-time hygienists that produce 2 to 3 times the revenue that the doctor produces. So it also is a benefit to the office because it gives you returning consumers and residual income for the practice on the acquisition. When you get that consumer in, let's treat them like gold. And if they're treated like that, we do want their neighbors, we want their families, we want their children. I want that whole damn community in actual fact, and I want to educate them. So be it. I hope this video is of use to you, and my sincere wishes for you to also take your community, educate them, and build the most rock star practice you can imagine, which is actually a retention practice. Thank you very much.